Please welcome the first debater from Team Coffee, Tim Barnes!
Can I grab it? Oh, yeah. All right, it's clear that Team T steeps pretty deep, but I think here at Coffee, we're going to let matters brew for a bit, because a lot of claims were made. So, coffee, let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about coffee. Yeah, I was caffeinated last night and made this presentation. All right, hello, my name is Tim Barnes, and despite having once worked as the lone employee of the closing shift of a Chicago Dunkin' Donuts, in which my boss, who was always watching from a security camera, demanded that we put regular coffee with extra water into the decaf coffee pots, I am here to defend coffee to the death. Besides, that awful job ended up being inspiration for my own cartoon about the only coffee shop on Mars. But I'm not here to shamelessly promote my animated web series, Maurice on Mars, currently viewable on Comedy Central's animated YouTube channel. I'm here to make sure that you cast a vote for coffee, okay? America runs on it. Don't talk to me till I've had it. It's the best part of waking up. Happiness in a cup. What I love driving with comedians to get, and allows me to espresso myself. Coffee is the Barack Obama of liquids. I mean, if we're being honest, tea is more like George Washington, who, I must remind you, owned slaves. But think about it. Much like Obama, coffee is black. Okay, yeah, it varies depending on how much creamer you're willing to acknowledge. But like any great politician, coffee also reaches across the aisle. Take these two stock images of people, for example. They probably don't agree on much, but at least they agree that you can't buy happiness, but you can buy coffee, and that's pretty close. Yep, coffee is the drink of the working man and the corporate drone about to fire him. And there's something unique about how we as Americans consume it. It's the ticket into society that we purchase every morning. Whereas tea is a strange brew you get somewhat reluctantly at, I don't know, a hospital bed? Coffee tastes bold. Tea tastes like soup minus any meat or vegetables. Like lightly flavored air. And the best thing about coffee is that when it's handed to you, it's pretty much done. Tea, on the other hand, puts you to work. Here, you open this packet. Sure, coffee menus are confusing, but there's a hack for that, okay? Sometimes I just walk up to the barista and tell them the way I like my women, just hoping that's a drink. And it works. Turns out caramel macchiatos are my type. And that's the thing about coffee. Unlike tea, coffee is sexy. No one wants to, no one wants to sensually refer to a woman as chamomile. And this is true. Asking someone if they want to come over from coffee is literally code for sex. And for the record, the proper response to someone asking, so do you want to get a cup of coffee, is depends. How do you like it, plain or whipped? No coffee kink-shaming here, folks. Naysayers remark that this sweet nectar from the gods stains your teeth. Well, call me a yay-sayer, because I think it gives your teeth character. In fact, with the rate of technological evolution these days, coffee-stained teeth are my only means of knowing that the person I'm talking to isn't a robot. Or worse, a celebrity. And having said that, I prefer coffee-stained teeth to tea-stained teeth any day. Remember, Austin Powers wasn't chugging Dunkachinos to create this. He was sipping oolong, my friends. And we can't forget that coffee is revolutionary. Tea, as was mentioned earlier, was the favorite drink of the New World, aka white people, in America until 1773, when the colonists revolted against a heavy tax on tea imposed by King George III, which, by the way, is just an adorable thing to revolt over. Imagine being a slave, overhearing your owners complain about tea prices, just standing there, shaking your heads like God's gonna trouble your Earl Grey if you don't shut the hell up. So that's what happened. The white folks had themselves a tea party in Boston. They walked into a Dunkin' Donuts, and they never left. Coffee is like any relationship. You gotta pumpkin spice things up to keep the love alive, know what I mean? We've all been there. You get a new office job, get excited about the new pod flavors from their cool new coffee machine, and then a few months go by, and they just don't hit the way they used to. Luckily, there are nearly 40,000 coffee shops you can go to for some caffeine in America on the side. Don't worry, going to that coffee shop instead of the coffee at the office or at home is not cheating on your personal coffee. You've just got an open relationship with it. Sometimes you even use the creamer from 7-Eleven on your coffee at home. In fact, coffee is so open-minded that most cafes sell tea. Remember that as this debate goes on tonight. Coffee isn't building walls, it's tearing them down. And that's the fully caffeinated truth. Thank you.
Tim Barnes!